After a brief lull in protest, the National Super Alliance is planning yet another wave of demonstrations from next week. This part of the opposition's plan to push for another election.
We will continue to assemble, demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities as often as we choose.
The coalition insisting it does not recognize Kenyatta's victory in the fresh election held on the 26th of October. NASA CEO Norman Magaya says the new wave of protest will be well planned and executed to avoid confrontations and violence that has led to loss of lives and destruction of businesses.
As we speak now, training is ongoing for protest marshals. We have retained services from civil organizations on peaceful assemblies and protests, who we intend to ensure that they guide our people accordingly. So you're going to see largely huge crowds of protesters, but very peaceful.
A strategy that has been dismissed by Jubilee.
So if you imagine that you can use violence as a means to political power, the same violence shall consume you.
There is a creeping culture of violence in the political process that we all must be aware of.
And by the end of this week, NASA is expected to release a list of products and shops to be boycotted by supporters for allegedly associating themselves with the Jubilee government.
It will be objective, and we will show the links that each of these business entities have had either in compromising our quest for a free and fair election or how they are facilitating this dictatorship. So it's not going to be arbitrary.
There are 40 million Kenyans who will sustain your enterprise. We have overrated some people in this country. It's time we call it their bluff.
Businesses that display the president's portrait are also on NASA's crosshairs. Although it is not mandatory to display the president's image in a business premise, many traders do so in what some have interpreted as a show of patriotism.
Any business entity that has that portrait, you avoid it as part of the tools of resistance.
The CEO reiterating NASA leaders' stand that they would not challenge Kenyatta's victory at the Supreme Court. President Kenyatta, as well as observers, have urged anyone dissatisfied with the election outcome to seek remedy in court.
And whoever is going should not be seen to be a proxy of NASA. I can speak as the Chief Executive Officer of NASA. We have no intention to retain a proxy. I think we have demonstrated the immense ability to pursue matters in court in our own name where we believe it's the right thing to do.
Jubilee leaders have, however, dismissed NASA's call.
In fact, in 1997, he did say that fresh elections must be held within 21 days. Well, it came to pass, those 21 days passed and no election was held. In 2007, it was exactly the same script. In 2013 is the only time that he didn't come up with that script.
NASA strategists are already meeting to plan the activities of its resistance movement. It plans to establish a task force and a People's Assembly in a majority of the county assemblies by the end of November. Samogina for JKL.